بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Today inshallah we're going to talk about praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are talking about the second pillar of Islam, and we talked yesterday, we talked about ablution. Again, we talked about ablution, we talked about wiping over the socks, we talked about how to take a bath, tayammum, how to perform tayammum, and today, inshallah, we're going to talk about prayer. As we said before, praying is the most important action of worship for Muslim. Praying is the most important action of worship for Muslim. So we must to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all circumstances. We must pray to Allah in all circumstances. So even if the one is traveling, even if the one is sick, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we divide, now we talk about praying. We say that praying is divided into obligatory and voluntary praying. Praying is divided into obligatory and voluntary praying. So there are 5 obligatory praying. There are 5 obligatory praying. Okay, so the first obligatory praying is Fajr. The first obligatory praying is Fajr. What is the time of Fajr? What is the time of Fajr? Fajr is very early in the morning. We pray Fajr very early in the morning. So if we look at this picture, if we look here at this picture, here, for example, the first light of the day, this is the time of Fajr. The first light of the day, this is the time of Fajr. Then the sun goes up, up, up. When the sun is overhead and start to descend. When the sun is overhead and start to descend. This is the time of Dhuhr. This is the time of Dhuhr. When the sun is below the line of sight, this is the time of Asr. When it's sunset, this is the time of Maghrib. This is the time of Maghrib prayer. When it's completely dark, this is the time of Isha prayer. So again, this picture shows us the different times of prayer. So again, when it's the first light of the day, this is Fajr prayer. The sun starts to go up when the sun is overhead. When the sun is overhead and start to descend, this is Dhuhr prayer. When the sun below the line of sight, this is Asr prayer. When it's sunset, this is Maghrib prayer. When it's completely dark, this is Isha prayer. This about the different times of that prayer. Now we talk about the number of each rak'ah. So for Fajr is 2 rak'ah, Dhuhr 4 rak'ah, Asr 4 rak'ah, Maghrib 3 rak'ah, Isha 4 rak'ah. And now, inshallah, we explain what is rak'ah. We'll explain what is rak'ah. This is the obligatory prayer. So now we'll start explaining to you what is rak'ah. So when we start, before showing you the picture, you should know that when you pray, of course, you should have ablution. When you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you should have ablution. You cannot pray without ablution. So for the person who is going to pray, of course, the person is a Muslim. Of course, the person is grown up. When you grow up, you must pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know about the girl that she's grown up when the girl starts to menstruate. So this is a sign that this girl become a woman, become a mature person. So when the person become a mature person, you must start to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You must pray to Allah. It's obligatory. And of course, as we said, in order to pray, you must be in a state of purity. You should have ablution. And of course, the cloth, the place where you pray should be free from any impurity. Before you start ablution, make sure, before you start praying, make sure that your clothes, your body, the place where you pray is free from any impurity. Free from any impurity. And of course, when the Muslim woman pray to Allah, you cover all your body except for the face and two hands. Again, when the Muslim woman start praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you pray to Allah, you should make sure that you cover all your body except for the face and the two hands. Except for the face and the two hands. And of course, when you pray to Allah, of course, you try to do your best to pray on time. To pray on time. Okay? And when you pray, you should face Qibla. You should face Qibla. What is Qibla? What is the direction of Qibla? Qibla is the house of Allah. Qibla is the house of Allah. Where is it? Where is Qibla? Qibla in the southwest of Saudi Arabia. So here, as you see here in this picture, wherever you are in the world, you face Qibla. What is Qibla? Qibla is Mecca. Qibla is what? Mecca. If I ask you, where is Mecca? Mecca in the southwest of Saudi Arabia. It's near to the Red Sea. So wherever you are, if you are in Philippines, if you are in Uganda, in Kenya, South Africa, in Europe, in America, wherever you are in the world, you should face the direction of Mecca. Okay, Mecca is the best city in the world. And in Mecca, there is Kaaba. Kaaba is the house of Allah. Here, as you see here, what is in Mecca? In Mecca, there is Kaaba. There is, as you see here, Kaaba. In Mecca, where is Kaaba? In Mecca. Where is Mecca? Mecca in the southwest of Saudi Arabia. So wherever you are in the world, you face the direction of Mecca. You face the direction of Mecca. Okay? So again, before you start praying, you make sure that you are having ablution, that you cover, as a Muslim woman, you cover all your body except for the face and two hands. You cover all your body except for the face and two hands. The face and two hands. And you pray on time. And when you pray, you face Qibla. What is Qibla? We said the house of Allah, it's in Mecca. And of course, when you pray, you should have intention in your heart. You should have intention. We said before, what is intention? That in your heart, you decide to do something without saying, because Allah can see inside your heart. So you don't say, but you decide, you prepare to do something. Now we will move to talk about, how to pray. I show you pictures so you know how to pray. So again, as you see here, as you see the man is standing up. Of course, you have intention in your heart. You have intention in your heart. You stand up. You have intention. You are having ablution. You make sure that your body, your clothes, and the place where you pray is free from any impurity. Free from any impurity. So you face Qibla, the direction of Mecca, and as a Muslim woman, you cover all your body except for the face and two hands. Again, as a Muslim woman, you cover all your body, except for the face and two hands. And then you start praying, by saying what? By saying Allahu Akbar. By saying Allahu Akbar. You raise your two hands up to the level of the shoulder or a little above. And you say Allahu Akbar. By saying Allahu Akbar, you actually start to pray. You actually start praying. After this, you put your right hand on your left hand, placing them on your chest or a little below the chest, and you start reciting Al-Fatiha. You start reciting Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. So when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. When you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, you say it means that all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, it means what? That all praise is due to Allah. Allah is the Lord of the world. Allah is the Lord of everything. Allah is the Lord of everything. So when you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, what does it mean? It means that Allah is the Lord of everything. When you say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, it means that Allah is the most gracious, Allah is the most merciful. Allah is the most gracious, Allah is the most merciful. Okay? So when you say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, it means what? It means that Allah is the most gracious, Allah is the most merciful. When you say Maliki Yawmiddin, it means that Allah is the sovereign of the day of recompense. Allah is the only judge in the day of recompense. Allah has a sovereignty. Allah is the sovereign of the day of recompense. When you say إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين, it means what? That it is you, Allah, we worship, and it is you, Allah, we ask for help. As we said, as Muslim, we worship Allah alone. We ask Allah only for help. We don't ask anyone else. We ask help from Allah. We ask support. We ask guidance from Allah. And we, of course, we worship Allah alone. We don't make partners. We don't make partners. Okay? When after this, after praising Allah, after saying that Allah is the Lord, Allah is the sovereign, Allah is the only judge in the day of judgment, after saying that you, Allah, you pray to Allah, you say that you, Allah, we worship, only you, only Allah, we worship, and only you, we ask for help. After this, you say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the straight path. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the straight path. So normally, which path it is? Which path is it? It's the path صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, the path of those upon whom you, Allah, have bestowed your favor. Not those who evoke your anger because they know the truth, but they insist on not accepting the truth. Or those who are astray, who worship Allah in the wrong way. They don't know how to worship Allah. So we ask Allah to guide us to the straight path. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom Allah has bestowed His favor. Allah has bestowed His favor. After saying Al-Fatiha, we say again that you say Allahu Akbar. You start with saying Allahu Akbar. After this, you recite Al-Fatiha. After Fatiha, you recite any chapter from the Holy Quran. If you memorize anything else, you recite it. After this, you raise your hand and you say Allahu Akbar. You go to a bowing position. As you see the man here, you keep your back straight in at a right angle. You place your two arms on your two hands on your knees, and you lower your head and the back, and you keep your head and your back at a right angle. Keep them straight at a right angle. Keep them straight at a right angle. Okay? And while you are in this position, you say 3 times, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. Glory be to Allah, my Lord, the Almighty. Glory be to my Lord, the Almighty. Glory be to Allah, the Almighty. So again, you will say 3 times, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, Subhana Rabbi al-Azim. If you say it 1 time, your prayer is valid. If you say more, it's better. But we are saying the most frequent number is to say these 3 times. 3 times. After this, you raise up. After this, you raise up again. You raise your 2 hands up to the level of the shoulder, and you say, Sami Allahu liman hamida. You say, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allah listen to him, to the person who praise Allah. Again, you say, Sami Allah when you raise from bowing. When you raise from bowing, you say, Sami Allah liman hamida. Allah listens to the person who praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you are praying in masjid, behind the Imam will say this. Imam will say, Sami Allah liman hamida. In this case, you say, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Oh Allah, to you is due all the praise. To you is due all that praise. Okay? Our Lord, to you is due all the praise. After this, you say Allahu Akbar, and you go to a bowing, you go to a prostration. You prostrate yourself. As you see, you put 7 paws on the ground. You put your toes of both feet, as you see the picture. You put your knees, you put your 2 hands, you put your forehead on the ground, touch the ground. So even the nose touch the ground. Even the nose touch the ground. And while you are in this position, which is called the prostration, you say 3 times, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Glory be to my Lord Most High. Again, you say 3 times, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. Glory be to my Lord Most High. If you say it 1 time, your prayer is valid. But when you say 3 times, you get more reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you have time, you can say more. If you have time, you can say more. And the Prophet Muhammad said, أقرب ما يكون العبد من ربه وهو ساجد. If you want to come closer to Allah, to be in the closest position to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you prostrate to Allah. You prostrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the closest thing, the closest way to come to Allah, that you prostrate yourself to Allah. Okay, so when you prostrate, you can say, praise Allah, say Subhan Rabbi al-A'la. You can send the greeting upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. You can ask Allah for whatever you like. You can ask Allah for whatever you like. Maybe you ask Allah from a benefit in this world, ask Allah for a marriage, ask Allah for good health, ask Allah for good salary, ask Allah for good children, whatever you like, whatever you like. And you can ask Allah from the goodness of the hereafter. Ask Allah to give you paradise, ask Allah to keep you away from the hellfire. So you can ask Allah for whatever you like. This while you are prostrating, because as we said, you are in the closest position to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you raise from prostration, as you see the man here. You sit down as you see the man here, and you say, Rabbi ghfirli, Rabbi ghfirli warhamni. Oh my Lord, forgive me and have mercy on me. Oh my Lord, forgive me and have mercy on me. After this, you prostrate again. After this, you prostrate again. This is the second prostration. So while you are prostrating again, you repeat again. You say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la 3 times. As we said, this is the closest position to Allah. You can ask Allah for whatever you like. You send the greeting upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This process, all this process is called what? All this process is called one rak'ah. When you stand, when you recite Al-Fatiha, a short chapter, when you make bowing, say 3 times Subhana Rabbi al-Azim, you raise from bowing, then you make prostration, you say 3 times Subhana Rabbi al-A'la, you rise from prostration, then you prostrate again. All this process is called one rak'ah. It's called what? One rak'ah. After this, you rise up from one rak'ah, you go to rak'ah number 2. You go to rak'ah number 2. And in rak'ah number 2, you repeat everything. You do everything again. You do everything again. In rak'ah number 2, you do everything again. And after you finish rak'ah number 2, if you pray Fajr, for example, we said that Fajr is 2 rak'ah. So if you pray Fajr, or if you pray any optional prayer, because any optional prayer is 2 rak'ah. So you sit down like this, and you say Tashahhud. You say Tashahhud. What is Tashahhud? That you say At-Tahiyyatu lillah was-salawat wat-tayyibat. Assalamu alayka ya nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah as-salihin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. You can find Tashahhud in this document. Here is Tashahhud, or you can find it in the book. You can find it in this document, or you can find it in the book. So as you see here, as you see here, this is the first part of Tashahhud. At-Tahiyyatu lillah was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. Assalamu alayka ya nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah as-salihin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. What does it mean? You start by sending greeting to Allah. All greeting, prayer, and goodness are due to Allah, are due for Allah. After this, you send the greeting upon Prophet Muhammad. O Prophet, peace, mercy, and blessing of Allah be upon you. After this, you send the greeting to all brothers and sisters believers in the world. A peace be upon all the righteous people, all the righteous servant of Allah. After this, you say Shahada. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasul. I testify that there is no true God but Allah, and I testify that Prophet Muhammad is his servant and messenger. So this is called what? The first part of Shahada. After this, you go to the second part of Shahada. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. What does it mean? Oh Allah, bestow your prayer on Muhammad and on the family of Muhammad as you have bestowed your prayer on Ibrahim and on the family of Ibrahim. You are the praiseworthy, you are the most gracious, the most glorious. O Allah, bless Muhammad and the family of Muhammad as you have blessed Ibrahim and the family of Ibrahim. You are the praiseworthy, you are the most glorious. This is the second part of Tashahhud. So again, at the end of rak'ah number 2, you sit down as this man, you sit down and you say the first part and the second part of Tashahhud. After this, you finish your prayer. If you are praying 2 rak'ah, you finish your prayer. If you are praying Fajr, because Fajr is 2 rak'ah. How do you finish your prayer? You turn your face to the right, you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then you turn your face to the left and you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This if you pray Fajr or if you are praying any optional prayer. If you are praying Fajr or any optional prayer, because any optional prayer is 2 rak'ah. Any optional prayer is 2 rak'ah. Now, for example, if you pray Maghrib, Maghrib is 3 rak'ah. Maghrib is 3 rak'ah. So you don't finish your prayer, you stand up and you pray rak'ah number 3. How do you pray rak'ah number 3? The same thing, but you say only Al-Fatiha. You start, but you recite only Al-Fatiha. You don't recite a short chapter, only Al-Fatiha. And then you make bowing, then you make a rise up from bowing, then you make prostration. You repeat everything. You repeat everything. And at the end of rak'ah number 3, you sit down, you say Tashahhud, first part of Tashahhud, second part of Tashahhud, and you end your praying. Now, if you are praying Dhuhr or Dhuhr or Asr or Isha. These are 4 rak'ah. So normally, after you finish Tashahhud rak'ah number 2, you don't end your prayer. You stand up to pray rak'ah number 3. And then you stand up to pray rak'ah number 4. And at the end of rak'ah number 4, you say Tashahhud and you finish your prayer. How do you finish your prayer? You turn your face to the right. You say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It means that peace and mercy of Allah be upon you. And then you turn your face to the left and you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace and the mercy of Allah be upon you. This is the description of prayer. This is the description of prayer, how to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are something we just remind you that when you pray, there are some actions that invalidate your prayer, break your prayer. There are some actions that invalidate or break your prayer. What are these actions? Of course, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't speak intentionally. You don't speak intentionally if when you are praying. You don't make many motions unnecessary. Of course, you don't laugh. But if the Satan comes to your ear and whisper in your ear with something and you smile, your prayer is still valid. Your prayer is still valid, but try to control yourself. Try to control yourself. Try to spit on your left. Say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. I take refuge in Allah from the Satan, and you continue your prayer. You continue your prayer. Okay? But if while you are praying, there was a gas from stomach. There was a gas, a wind or gas from stomach. This means what? This means that you broke your ablution and also broke your prayer. So it means that you stop it, terminate your prayer, go to have ablution again, and come back to pray. Okay? This about action that invalidate or break your prayer. Now come to actions that are disliked. Actions that are disliked. When you pray, of course, if you want to go to the bathroom, it's better that you go to the bathroom, relieve yourself from urine or feces or from a stool, and then you have ablution, then you start praying. Then you start to pray. So you need, if you want to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom first. If you are praying, if you want to pray and you find there is food and you are hungry, you want to eat, in this case, it's better that you eat first, and then you start praying. If you are too tired, if you are coming back from work, you are very, very tired, you cannot concentrate in your prayer. In this case, you can have food, you can take a rest first, then after this, you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, when you are praying, you don't crack your finger, you don't look at the sky, but you look at the place of prostration. What is the point behind all this? That when you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, try to pray with a free mind, with mind free from any distraction. Try to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a mind free from any distraction. So you can pray to Allah, you can humble yourself in front of Allah because you are praying to Allah, the most great. So you have, while you're praying, you try to concentrate, you try to understand the meaning of what we say because you are praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most great. This the end of our talk about praying. Inshallah, we in the next program we talk about the other things about foundational session for the new Muslim system.